Morning. My name is Brenda Allen. I was a student here from 1999 to 2002, and I took a leave of absence for about 16 years. But now I'm back to try to finish my Bachelor of Arts in Christian Studies. I'm probably not your typical student here at Austin Grad because I'm not Church of Christ. I'm not even Baptist. I'm Methodist. Don't get up and leave. I was working as a director of nurses in an infant rehabilitation unit here in Austin when I first heard my call into ministry. As most of you are probably aware from your own call, I had no idea what was going on or what that really meant. So I investigated the options. I did a lot of praying. I spoke with my pastor at my church at length. I spoke with the bishop. I spoke with everybody in Austin, I think. I went through a process with the Methodist Church to try to determine what my call was and where I was supposed to be going. Where should I focus my energies? Well, this led me to change jobs so that I could go back to school. I took a night shift position in the intensive care nursery at St. David's Hospital so that I could sign up for classes at ACC. And it was at St. David's Hospital in the middle of a night shift, talking to an x-ray tech, that I heard about Institute for Christian Studies. Don't ask me. God works in mysterious ways. So I started classes here in 1999, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the classes. I fell in love with the instructors. I fell in love with the chapel times. I did not love the parking. While I was here taking classes, I got a call from my pastor in my home church at Pflugerville United Methodist, and he asked me to come work with him as his assistant. That was shocking in itself. I thought he was calling me to ask me to plan a party for the associate pastor who was leaving, and that was not at all what he wanted. I had an opportunity to do some teaching, a little bit of preaching, but mostly I offered spiritual support to people in the congregation. So I was working a full-time job at night, a part-time job at the church, taking classes here, and raising 3 kids by myself. So when I met my future husband, it really got complicated. So we got married in 2003 while I was working as associate pastor at Pflugerville in the same church that I had been going to, and we decided that maybe something had to give. So I quit my part-time job and I stopped taking classes for the time being. So fast forward to now, lots of family changes, lots of stuff. It's been a very active 16 years. And then retirement happened. Thank you. So now I'm back to finish my degree that I started all those years ago. Last spring, I emailed the school here and spoke with Dawn by email, and just asking what it would take for me, just offhand, what would it take for me to come back to school? And she said, "Oh, well, what was your name then?" I said, "Yeah, I got a new name." But she said she ran it by the board or whoever. I don't know who she talked to. But she said, "Just come down here and register." And I was so shocked and delighted, I practically raced down here the next day. So I started back last spring, after I emailed the register. I came in here to see what was going on. I drove in here, and I was driving in here. I was thinking about the people I had encountered here before. And I thought about Dave, and I thought about Todd, and I thought about Dr. McNichol and Dr. Weed, and all these people who had been so important to me. Well, lo and behold, I walk in the door, and who do they introduce me to but Dave Arthur, who actually remembered me after all that time. And he welcomed me back. And another person that I had been thinking about as I was driving in was Todd. Todd and I had been in classes together, and with Jennifer, his wife. And Jennifer, at the time that I was here in school before, was expecting their first baby. And Jennifer was actually helping me plan my daughter's wedding at the time when we were in classes together. So when Maddie was born, it was so devastating when we lost Jennifer. It was a blow to everybody. and I had wondered over the years how Todd had been doing with his little daughter. So I came out of Dave's office, and I ran right into Todd Hall and a young lady who looked suspiciously like Jennifer. So that was my sign from God that maybe I was on the right track. So now I'm in classes with Madison. God has a sense of humor, doesn't he? But there's several reasons why I love this school so much. One is the joy that each of the professors has in teaching the students. There is a palpable joy in this building. All of them are easily approachable, but they're all unique in their own way. I remember Dr. McNichol and Dr. Weed from my first trip here, and they were the ones who instilled such deep faith in me. I recall a certain class when Dr. Weed explained Genesis 15 to us, and there was a sense of passion, but also complete awe and amazement as he talked about it 15 years ago. I can still hear his voice and see the look on his face as he described the love that God had for his people. And Dr. McNichol took such time with every student. He was so patient. I took Greek 1 from Dr. Peterson the last time I was here, but I left before I had an opportunity to take Greek 2. In hindsight, I kind of wish I'd done that. But then I would have missed the relationships that I've formed now. And I would have missed the new jokes and stories from Dr. Peterson, and that was just all worth it. I have to say, you have to be a pretty good instructor to make Greek that much fun. So now I'm in my second class with Dr. Hall, who was once my fellow classmate. And he brings an energy to his classes and to the library and is always willing to help any student that he can. In fact, everybody here, from Carolyn at the front desk and all the administrative staff, to Stephanie and Dr. Aho in the library, all the way up to Dr. Reed, nobody has been anything but kind to me and to anybody that they come in contact with. One of the other things I really love about this school is Monday morning chapel. Having been in the Methodist Church, we not only sing different hymns and songs, but we only sing the first, second, and last verse of whatever's chosen. So that's a little different. All these guys seem to know every word of every hymn by heart. And I find that such a joy. And everybody harmonizes so well, or at least they seem to. And, you may not think they do, but they do to me. And you can hear each voice. Sometimes I just close my eyes and I listen. And it actually brings tears to my eyes. Dr. Reed wanted me to say what I'm going to do with this degree when I finish, but I really don't have a definitive answer for you. I've considered taking a CPE course so I could do some counseling or chaplaincy in a hospital or a hospice setting, or maybe into Christian education in a church setting. One thing I've learned being here is that I've learned to live by faith. So I'm trusting God to tell me which direction to go to when the time comes. Having been accustomed to a connectional church, and one that comes out of an Anglican tradition, our thoughts and traditions and understandings sometimes differ. But that's what I love most about this school. You have the ability to share ideas and backgrounds and to learn from one another, and to be accepted as another Christian just trying to make sense of the world and our faith. And you knew I had to get something in here about John Wesley, right? One of his quotes, "Though we cannot think alike, may we not love alike. May we not be of one heart, though we are not of one opinion. Without all doubt, we may. Herein all the children of God may unite, notwithstanding these smaller differences." And more loosely, one more quote. "If you believe that Jesus Christ is Lord, and he died on your behalf to save you from your sins, then come take my hand and we'll work out our faith together."